Hi, this is Thunder E from Booredatwork.com and welcome to another battle video. And today's battle is between the Motorola X and the Nokia Lumia 1020 to find out really which has the best camera on a smartphone. We're not comparing Android and iOS, it's pretty much these bad boys back here, so let's jump in. Okay, let's go into the hardware specs of both devices. First off, the Moto X. Moto X, of course, has a 10 MP clear pixel camera, and what that means is it uses an RGBC camera and takes in 75% more light than most smartphone cameras, according to Motorola. It's got an LED flash. Now, this uses the X8 computing system, and what that means also is that it houses 8 processors and brings them all together to form its processing unit. It's got a dual-core Snapdragon S4 Pro processor clocked at 1.7 gigahertz. It's got a quad-core Adreno GPU. It's also got a language processor and a contextual processor. So all those together make up the X8 system, and it runs with 2 gigabytes of RAM in here. On the front, you've got a 4.7-inch display at 720p. You've got a 2 MP front-facing camera on there, and that's about it in terms of hardware for the Moto X. Now, looking at the Lumia 1020, on the rear here we have that 41 megapixel pure view camera from Nokia with a dual xenon flash as well as an LED flash for recording. It records up to 1080p, records at 30 frames per second as well as 24 frames per second on this camera here. Now, it's got the ability for wireless charging, but with, of course, an accessory back cover case for that. Now, in front, you do have a 4.5-inch 720p display, AMOLED clear black display. It's got a 1.9 megapixel front-facing camera. Now, in terms of internal hardware, you've got a dual-core processor, the Snapdragon S4 Pro, and you've got 2 gigs of RAM with this in terms of housing. Now, both run 2 different operating systems. Now, the Moto X, of course, is running Android 4.2, and the Lumia 1020 is running Windows Phone 8. So, of course, operating systems are 2 different things there. We're not going to compare that because it's just apples versus oranges, and it's whatever your flavor there and whatever you like. But in terms of we'll talk about battery performance. In terms of battery performance, the Moto X really kills it. The max I've done with this is about a day and 11 hours actually, and I can show you that. Just took a screenshot of that with the Moto X. You can see it's still at 14%, but we have a day, 11 hours and 35 minutes, and still counting on the Moto X. While with the Lumia 1020, the max we were able to push this to was about 18 hours or so, which is actually less than most Windows Phone devices. So battery life, the Moto X clearly kills it. But this battle video is all about the camera. So let's pull up both cameras and take a look at some of the camera interfaces. Of course, the Moto X has that quick gesture to rattle your wrist, and of course the Lumia 1020, just hold down the camera button. So the Moto X camera here camera interface is very simple, plain. You have your settings on the right, and then you can go in and change HDR, your flash from auto to on and off. You have focus, either auto or manual, or tap focus, sorry. You've got slow-mo, panorama, location, sound, and of course gesture interface. And that's it for the Moto X. Nothing else there. You can switch between the front-facing camera and you can tap to record. While recording, here you go, you can record and you can snap photos while recording. So that's pretty much it with the Moto X camera. Very basic, and we'll show you some of the photo qualities from both devices, and you can judge yourself, but pretty much the 1020 wins on that department. Now, the 1020, this is the camera interface for the 1020. Now, of course, this is the Nokia ProCam app, which allows you to customize and play around with everything. So you can see the photo there of the Moto X behind. We can actually go into the camera app here. We can actually customize all the things from white balance to our ISO, shutter speed, as well as saturation. So we can mess around with all those. make it brighter, all that fun stuff. So it does that. It's also got that 41 megapixel camera for larger screen capture. And then in terms of video settings, you can play around with the video settings and you can customize that to some degree. You have the ability to record at 1080p, either at 30 frames per second or 25 and 24 frames per second. You can also change the bass volume at 200 hertz or 100, which is the default. And so it's got more extensive camera features for a camera lover or someone who wants to take photos, which allows you to do more. The Moto X, it's pretty cool and interesting. Once you tap the record button, it just records immediately. It doesn't switch to camera mode. But anyway, giving you a 1080p recording here outside, giving you an idea of how well it looks. That's a UPS truck over there. We'll probably do about maybe about 2 minutes or so, different locations of human traffic, just to give you guys a general idea. And I'm going to upload this for you, so I'll probably do about a minute or two to show you how things sound, how things work, lighting in the area, just giving you a nice solid camera example so you can hear streets. You know, if I walk down this way. So we've taken a good look at both cameras of both devices for the Motorola X with its 10 megapixel clear pixel technology camera and the Nokia Lumia 1020 with its 41 megapixel pure view camera. Now, in terms of photo quality, in terms of just the effectiveness of just recording videos, the Lumia 1020 really wins this hands down. Images are much clearer. It does a fantastic job in low light, and also you can just compare the video quality between both devices. Now, Motorola has improved a lot with the Moto X. You've got better picture quality than you've seen in most other Motorola devices in the past, but it doesn't compare in low light situations. Also, there is some fuzziness in some of the pictures from the Moto X, and also the record quality is only at 1080p, and it's slightly less than what you get from the Lumia 1020. So in terms of photo quality, definitely the Lumia 1020 wins. Now, battery life, I would say, of course, it's the Moto X, but we're talking about the camera here. So the winner of this battle is the Lumia 1020.